Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, proud, lame, certified beta male, simp and giant, whatever it is, no game. The socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul, speaking at your service. This following episode contains graphic content that could be uncomfortable to some viewers, that could be like disheartening, not safe for work, that type of ordeal. It could offend some viewers in some way without any intent at all. It could be strong language. It could be basically strong graphic scenes, however it may be. There will be an E that's actually placed onto the top label up on the YouTube set, and it can basically require either views for either minimum 13 up, or in some cases, depending on YouTube's policy, it could be 18 up or however it may be. Please take notice before we get on with the presentation. Alright, viewer discretion advised. Now let's get back to the Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. Alright, this is your host, proud, lame, certified beta male simp, whatever it is, with no game, the socially awkward nerd, at your service speaking. Christian Paul is literally up in the house. And as I stated to you guys earlier from the previous get around with Zyzz being the classic example of the roided iron pumper, may he rest in peace, may he rest in paradise. I want to try and go dig a bit deeper into the whole topic on Zyzz the person and who he truly is. And one of the key things that I got from this and what I got from Zyzz is that he grew up as a nerd, right? He elevated himself and understood more about nutrition. Now, unfortunately, he did take some roids. He did take some anabolics. He did definitely got some pieces of the juice, frequently at times while actually trying to build up his physique. But he's extremely smart. He's literally was a valedictorian coming out of secondary school, coming out of high school. He's the smartest in his class. He's the smartest up in his high school. And he was on track to literally graduate with a degree in business and commerce, right? So this dude is on pace to be a very, very smart businessman as well as a very smart entrepreneur. Had he been still alive today. And I understand the situation that he has some heart defects even before the juice and everything like that. That also may have actually contributed, and the juice may have actually accelerated the whole ordeal. We may not thoroughly know all the details for sure, but we clearly know that Zyzz has took the juice along with Chess Broad, his older brother. Right? That's definitely a fact. That's definitely a given. Right? But the one thing that I want to take away from this whole ordeal is that Zyzz was primarily disrespected. Right? And then the moment he got on social media, actually improved his whole physique during his college years and improved his nutrition, upped his bulking game, upped his aesthetics, the whole 9 yards. He got a lot of fame from the social media, and with that fame, unfortunately, comes a lot of the haters and a lot of miserable people. A lot of naysayers, a lot of naggers, making a mockery of him, taking the juice, making a mockery of him, literally living his life, putting up fist pumps at EDM parties, living his life, getting hot women as much as he pleases, the whole 9 yards. Excuse me. Right, the whole 9 yards. And that's what led him to literally embrace himself to become the villain and literally go on like certain clips talking about, oh, you mad, bruh, going off and literally trolling like these haters and the whole 9 yards, right? Dealing with miserable people, and the whole idiom of the whole ordeal. The moral of the story of all of this is, I think one of the morals of the story that you actually take away from all of this is A, hurt people, that's big. B, we all make mistakes. We all can learn from others. We could be wise on learning from the mistakes of others as well. while trying to actually become better, basically having like a better legacy, or having like much more of a better system, or be better in aesthetics than Zyzz has, right? We could definitely take that better path and actually live out that better glory life than that Zyzz has probably reached. That's another lesson that we can also take from this as well. And the most important ordeal that you want to actually learn from is literally enjoying your own company and actually enjoying being who you are, and making sure you have your stagnant support system literally around with you, so that you'll be able to actually flourish much further on in life and not give two fucks about what any hater said, what any other crazy ass unnecessary critic that haven't even lived your life or haven't fully spent time with you as long as you lived, that's outside family that doesn't even know what the heck you talking about, and even in some cases, even some family members that you haven't speaking in a while that don't even know what the fuck you're dealing with. They'll try to have like some try to say in the moment you try to rise up on top. I empathize with Zyzz, right? I empathize with his humble beginnings. What should I start with this? Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, I am autistic. I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome at the age of 3. Now they call it autism spectrum disorder, which they actually call it due to the whole, politically correct stuff that they have literally going on with him calling Hans Asperger. And I understand why they would try to do that, because I understand Hans Asperger was affiliated with the Nazi Party during the time of Hitler, during the time of Adolf Hitler's regime. That's why they literally had to change the term. But I still use the term Asperger's syndrome literally to this day, because that's what it's appropriately defined as to me, but it could vary between other people. I digress. I was basically diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Having a bit of ills with social cues and everything, having actually trouble very how should I say this? Having very deep trouble picking up social cues, because I'm very literal and I'm very explicit the majority of the time, right? So I ended up going to special ed in elementary school, starting from kindergarten all the way through 4th grade, right? And these are the moments that I never forget. I've basically bonded with a lot of friends that I actually went to elementary school with during special ed in Franklin Avenue. A good portion of them I'm still cool with today. I still talk to them today. And I'm still very fortunate to actually call them my best friends literally for life. Throughout the times I actually been living. Throughout the times that we grew up together and dealt with all these crazy things. Who do have about the same conditions as me, others even worse. I've been in a classroom basically full of other classmates and other friends who have worse conditions more than I do. I know of a good friend who is suffering from Down syndrome still to this day. I know of like another close friend of mine who has like very severe conditions of a learning disabilities. You know what I mean? We also have another classmate as well that actually not only have suffered from a learning disability, but also has suffered through a life-threatening illness that unfortunately took her out at the age of 13 in 2004. God bless her soul. Condolences to her family, by the way. It's just really sad stuff. But many of us outgrew those traits. Actually, a few of us, myself and 2 close friends of mine, basically outgrew many of the traits that we done did. Fortunately, while the others definitely have not. And it basically just sticks in my head, and it sickens me to this very day of this whole ordeal. Basically humbles me now, right? So came by, went through high school, 4th to 6th grade, had an aide that actually helped deal with the social cues and all that stuff then. And I was still the socially awkward kid still going through secondary school like Zyzz was, right? Hence why I named the channel The Nerd Chronicles, right? Because it's basically for socially awkward people and actually trying to live better lives, but actually trying to dig through in their favorite profession, calculus, analytics, the whole 9 yards, basically like what I love doing. But anyway, right? High school came by and went, not really gotten really that much social, mainly have been the quiet person most of the time because I tend to be literally literal. And whenever I speak in certain times and whenever I become very blunt sarcastic at times, a lot of folks can actually take me as being the weirdo in some cases. Fast forward to college, right? Things sort of gotten a little bit better, but hadn't really fully tailored the whole social ills right until actually I graduated from undergraduate up in college, right? I've been flaked on a bunch of times. I've been disrespected a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Basically, between child's leave by like a lot of women. In some cases, you got like dudes that literally fuck me over as well. Some of them, not all, but some of them literally fuck me over, and that were actually childish as well. And things didn't really fully start to improve for me until I actually went to graduate school. Basically was dealing with the maths and applied mathematics as well as getting my PhD as well. And that's when I literally started to actually try to clear my head. And I was very fortunate to have like a family friend literally guide me around throughout the whole social skills, as well as my childhood speech therapist and psychologist, to actually mind that if you have like deal with like mental health stuff and therapy stuff, they actually gave, she actually ended up giving me like this book called Socially Curious and Curiously Social, right? And it's like Michelle Garcia Winner and Pamela Crook, and I still live by those creases very day. I actually study as much of that book to the best of my ability because I understand the social world could be literally fastly evolving at a very fast pace, probably than I could ever reach, because as soon as I think I actually know something going on, I actually got ahead of the game, all of a sudden, boom, something else literally pops up, right? So I'm still learning, I'm still naive, as many as a lot of folks are, and like the realistic part on what I've learned in the whole ordeal is that I'm probably thinking when I'm probably maybe like the most socially awkward given my condition, even though I outgrew many of those traits, and I still actually am trying to learn and figure out what the whole ordeal is. I've been comfy around enjoying my own company. I've been comfy literally trying to speak with people with like short talk and acquaintance talk and all that other shit, But I come to realize, and over the course of my 31 years of living, probably 31 and a half years of living and digging into actually having my own company for a number of years and spend time with a bunch of folks and actually try and pick up on subtle cues and try and notice the behaviors on certain people, you tend to realize that you have a lot of folks that are way more socially awkward than even autistic people, than even people with learning disabilities, that act way far worse than what many of us do today. And some of them don't choose not to improve. Actually, some actually definitely improve over time. But there are others that actually just choose not to improve at all and don't even want to make the effort to. And even that's literally like a shame. Which basically is like a big guide onto like a vulnerable part of my life that I could literally relate to Zyzz about, The moral of my story that I actually want to try and literally preach is that yes, according to Kevin Samuels, image does play a role in this, which I understand. But the most important thing you should literally get at is character, right? That's the key word. Character. What's your purpose in life? How well do you treat people? Okay? How well do you respect people? How well do you primarily respect yourself? Right? Because if you don't respect yourself, others won't respect you. You won't be able to respect other people. Okay? And as we all know, hurt people, right? And it's a real thing. It spreads like a fucking cancer, and it's a shame. And what else I want to actually try to bring up is that always enjoy your own company, right? Enjoy being around by yourself. Have like some personal memories that you just try to share with like someone intimate. Not everything needs to be posted up on social media all the time. Enjoy your own company. Be prepared to walk alone. Be prepared to enjoy your own company. Be prepared to actually go day to day dealing with the process of actually improving on your social skills, while improving on your purpose at the same time. And most importantly, right, now that we got the other two out the way, now that you want to try and make sure you stay yourself out of trouble, which is actually a key thing. The most important thing that I actually want to discuss is to literally stop giving a fuck about what other people think. Stop giving a fuck about everybody's opinions. Because everybody literally got something to say where you actually try to improve yourself or where you just literally being like a bum in the street, which I advise you not to do. Right? Try and get your image up for yourself and not for other people. Okay? That's really the most important thing I really want to try and get at here. Alright? And even if you try to do well, even if you try to improve yourself, or if you choose to be a slob and people literally start nagging all the way, everybody always got something to fucking say. Let their ass be. Let their ass go. Fuck them. Okay? They are not worth your time. They are not worth your living. Okay? That's one of the most important things I really want to try and discuss with you guys today on this. Right? Make sure you try and get on your purpose. Make sure you try to focus on doing what you love doing. Make sure you try to focus on doing what you enjoy doing and not worry too much about what other folks think. And that's the most important thing on what we can learn about Zyzz and his impact and his legacy on this whole ordeal. Most importantly, in order for you to continue elevating your life, in order for you to continue elevating in life, you need to stick yourself around. You need to stay around with the right people that aren't toxic for you. Right? Stay clear. And I want to try and stress this very importantly. Stay clear of motherfuckers that are completely toxic. Stay clear of motherfuckers that are completely shallow. You know, if they are not willing to actually come deep with you and have the deepest conversations with you as being friends or, you know, buddies, and I understand acquaintances and all that stuff. You have all this short talk and all that other stuff. That's basically what acquaintances are for. But there's true friends, right? You got your deep family, and then you have friends by technicality, which really is like acquaintances. That's when you have all the friend zone stuff coming in and all the other bullshit, right? So the friend by technicality stuff, you can try to work with them at best, but that's how you can get with them. It's like weak leads. That's all it is. But unfortunately, when in those weak leads could be some jealous people that want to try to take you down. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them want to try and take you down. Some at least. And the ordeal that you want to actually try to take note, okay, is to get rid of motherfuckers that are toxic. If you see people that are actually unwilling to be vulnerable with you, or you dealing with a vulnerable time up in your life, even though they're actually preaching you, oh, we appreciate what you got and all this other stuff, ghost their ass completely. Because at the end of the day, they don't belong. Alright? Ghost motherfuckers that are immature, ghost motherfuckers that are childish, ghost motherfuckers that are very flaky towards you and your time. Because they could literally be toxic to your life if you continue to pursue them, and if you continue to speak with them and make plans with them, and they end up continuing to act as towards you, you know, it could end up wrecking your life for the better. All right? And that's another thing I actually want to actually try to focus on, right? And their character will show at the end of the day when your voice of karma literally hits them up in the ass, right? There are going to be some folks that literally try to stab you in the back when you try to elevate, right? When you try to focus on you and try to live your life and how you see fit. And yeah, you got like some other folks that's literally salt you up in their ass, that's literally deeply hurt or deeply insecure. And you got some folks that are literally toxic and immature by any means and just walk away from you for no reason just because they hurt too or they feel that you're boring. Fuck them too. Let them go. At the end of the day, they don't belong either, right? Now, some of them, God forbid, some of them may not be here with us anymore. There's going to be like another portion of them actually going to be making dumbass decisions or dumb decisions that actually going to get them jailed up or end up killed. Some of them going to be living average jobs. It's going to be making them miserable. And then some of them, right, will definitely elevate in their own way and actually try and make a name for themselves so they're up in the ranks and definitely have their own future with their own family and all that stuff. But the most important thing that you have to actually remember is that if they have actually treated you wrong, right, and they've yet to actually repair and make those amends with you and actually haven't pursued your regression and shown that they've changed, you know, they are still toxic for you. Ghost them. cut them off. They don't belong. Hurt people hurt people. And if those people aren't really willing to work on themselves, to actually get themselves a space they need with therapists and stay away from other folks and all this legislation until they feel like they're fully healed and fully compatible to actually make smart decisions, they are not right for you. Cut them off. Cut them off fast. They don't belong. That's really the most important things, because the circle that you keep can either make you or end up breaking you, literally down the line, right? And you could be successful, but how long you're going to be successful is going to dictate, is going to end up being dictated by the circle you keep. That's based on high character. Education is a start, but at the end of the day, what seals it all is character. Accolades of success and accolades of what they've done starts as well, right? They got a good ordeal. They got like some good ordeals to sprinkle around it, or really sprinkle all the way around it, right? A good plus. But the foundation at the end of the day is character. And if their character is shitty, irrespective of all that stuff, they don't belong in your life whatsoever. All right? And that's what we can learn from Zyzz himself, the maestro, the certified bodybuilder. May he rest in paradise. Deep condolences to Chessbra. Deep condolences to his parents. Deep condolences to his extended family throughout this whole tragedy. Even though it's been going on 11 years since since his passing, still want to give him my condolences, because as we all know, there's a Zyzz in all of us. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be cherished. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants attention, right? But what good is all that if you don't even actually value your own attention? If you don't even value your own self? If you don't even enjoy your own company, right? Stop worrying about what other motherfuckers are thinking about you and start worrying about your own shit, about where you're going in life. Stop worrying about all these other pics of what you see, what you're seeing up in Instagram and all that stuff, okay? Because yes, you see pictures, but behind the scenes, you have no idea what they're going through literally in real life. What you've seen is literally a small snippet. Small snippet. Remember that. Okay? Always remember that everybody is literally as fucked up in the head as you. Right? The difference between them and you, right, is a lot of them actually have done a better job at actually concealing these fuck ups. Way better than you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright? Christian Paul from the Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Deuces, deuces, deuces. Good night.